Welcome to the Rip Comic Podcast. I'm Rob, and today we don't have anybody. No, I'm just kidding. We actually do have Roland, and I do see that in the invisible land we have Rico, and in the school land we have Marty, and then we have I don't know where. I think what's his name's in either Fortnite or Smash World.
Dude, I swear, okay.
Something World, I don't know where he's at.
One, you might as well do the Wayne's World intro. With me as always is Garth. And then like when Carlos comes in, you need to have the new challenger from Smash.
Oh, yes, sir. You know what? I think it's about that time. Let's get into the first of the minute news, which it's now 10 of the minute after the hour. But anyway, DarkHawk. Okay, everybody, calm down. Who cares? Just because somebody is saving their property and asking for trademarks doesn't mean they're going to start a new show. All it means is that they're just protecting their property because of a bunch of weirdos like you guys are trying to buy up all the DarkHawk that there is. This is the perfect example of I don't know. There's something similar in the stock world that all it takes is some rumblings, and guess what? You end up causing false spikes. This false spike has been started way back when this comic book even came out. Roland.
Yes.
Please tell me you know something of the history of this stupid book. Do you remember when this book hit the market?
I got DarkHawk #1 because at the time it looked, and again, so this is where that comic is now? Do you know where that comic is now?
No.
I don't know. Because I don't care. It's in the 90s, that was, I mean, everybody was changing up costumes, and then DarkHawk came out and it was like, ooh. And honestly, at that time, there wasn't really a lot of standalone characters being introduced. So, being young, thinking, oh, I'm going to be on the ground floor. It's like, dude, this is, I get to actually be there for history. It's a bad history. It really is. It's not even like the popularity now. I mean, where's the Alanis Morissette, thing? I mean, it's irony. They're like, it's so bad that they're trying to make it good. And this is a big running joke that people have, and it's an inside joke. So all of a sudden, and you see it in those posts. People are like, oh, hey guys, I finally got one. You guys are all talking about it. And people are cracking up when people say this, but there you go. You have all these people buying it because people are talking about it, and they don't realize it's a joke. It is just again, you look at the 90s, a dime a dozen. That's paying too much for it. I'm waiting to get a coupon to redeem my free comic to maybe get that.
Look at this print issue, limited availability. Find a store. I didn't know they did that. But anyway, so did you get other issues other than that one? Did you get like two, or did you start getting it going?
Yes.
Or,
I will tell you, it was just like how we're doing the pull box worthy. I got the first couple issues because, of course, it was like the freshness, the hype. It was a little bit different for me because 9, 10, 11, 12. I was 12 when this came out. So you had a lot of comic book dealers, comic book store guys who, I look back on it and
pushers, buddy. They're pushers.
Yes. They would make you think that, oh, this is the next hot thing. You want to get this, instead of just going, hey, what do you like to read? And some of those guys are still around today in Corpus. And I'll tell you what, it's I look back on it. I bought like the first 4 or 5 issues, and that was it. I really was. It was one of those things where you were hoping. I mean, first look at it. Hey, it looks pretty cool. I mean, you look at it, it kind of looks like Nightwing.
Yeah.
And this would be like Asriel Batman.
So is that what this is? Is that this is their answer to what was happening in DC world? With Asriel and the changing of like Nightwings and all these kind of things, or is it?
Well,
Or is this?
and as you see,
Yeah.
this it's a teenager. It's a teenager who, as you see, finds a mysterious amulet, one of the Kiss amulets that went away.
There you go. The lost amulet.
Yep.
After Vinnie Vincent, this was the amulet after Vinnie Vincent.
And he was able to play Beth on guitar. But no, and see, okay, so again, they were reaching out to the kids, going, "Hey, a kid is going to be a superhero," and the usual. I mean, I remember when they were reviving Sleepwalker. You remember that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think through the years we've seen it was and don't get me wrong, I like it, but that's why we've seen multiple. For me, that is Moon Knights, and then you see multiple. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Moon Knight, and it has a past and stuff like that, but it's like I don't know.
Again, why?
Yeah.
Like aside from I mean, I'm going to tell you. Moon Knight, I always thought was just like visually, of course, just like awesome. It took how many years to get to number 51, or is that?
Yeah, no. I think
they started up. Okay.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and begin it right at where we left it off.
Well, and
he stayed a teenager.
But you see, they did the same thing with X-Men. A couple years before, they gave Chris Claremont X-Men Forever, which a lot of people don't realize he picked up off of the last issue that he wrote. I think we talked about it before on the show.
Yeah.
And it was what he wanted to do. So Sabretooth was still Wolverine's dad. Storm became the traitor. She was a clone that could even fool Wolverine. What else? Well, Storm, the imposter, killed Wolverine. And Gambit's name was Remy Picard, because it wasn't until after Claremont left that Jim Lee decided to do the whole LeBeau thing. So they've done this before. They've just picked up where they left off to, hopefully see. Here we go. And everybody was asking, "Hey, does that mean my number one's going to go up?"
Yeah, you can finally retire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Even in this show, in the first couple of episodes, it has been a running joke. It's been a running joke ever since. Okay, look, it says let's just clear up this stuff. Marvel Comics has just registered DarkHawk as a trademark for paper and paper articles, cardboard and cardboard articles, printed matter, publications, books, photographies, portraits, paintings, photo engraving, stationery, office and school supplies, school supply kits, temporary tattoo transfers, foam stamps, party bags, sandwich bags and shopping bags, and plastic name badges. So if they plan on making a TV show out of all these party supplies, more power to you. This is just somebody with a crap load of DarkHawks that are just, rallying up everybody. And now he can sell all his Dark Horse books, because now everybody is, you know what? They're hoping that they muster up enough, drum up enough interest that maybe it'll get Marvel to go, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's turn this crazy character into a TV show. I mean, okay. Let me pose this question to you, Ro. Instead of DarkHawk, Can you name me at least 3 other characters that are not either attached to the main family of stories, like a Spider-Man or X-Men or whatever? Because DarkHawk is not really affiliated with any of the main, families, correct?
No. See, if I recall, later on, he became either part of the Avengers or one of those new Fantastic Four things because they were trying to push him.
Right. But they come in. But okay, so technically Bishop is an X-Man, but he's kind of on the fringe now. He's not as much as in the center of the spotlight as he used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I would rather see a Bishop show before I see a DarkHawk show. You know what I'm saying? What is another character that we could consider a DarkHawk type of character that you would rather see a show based on before you saw this dude with his own show? Or Richard out there, if you have any suggestion, are there any other Marvel characters other than this DarkHawk cat that you'd rather see a show? And I don't want to hear like, oh, let's make a Wolverine show. I want like these fringe characters that might have had one-shot deals or miniseries and could never really get into the groups of like Avengers and shit like that. Is there anybody out there that is watching the show, the one person that may be out there? Do you guys have any suggestions of what would make a better show than this DarkHawk cat? Because just the premise of DarkHawk, I'd rather see them bring back Automan, Man versus Machine.
Do you remember in the 90s when they were trying to push Wonder Man?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Plastic Man is not as DC, but
but Wonder Man was he's like an actor who was, he was like a main part of the Avengers, but they like really tried to push him into. Yeah, okay, again, he was Avengers, but
right. But you see, you know your stuff, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you just kind of threw Wonder Man out there into a comic book store right now to somebody that doesn't know really that is like new to comics within the last 10 years, they're not going to know who the heck Wonder Man is. You know what I'm saying?
I think I would rather see the Great Lake Avengers have a show than DarkHawk.
And it's all done like 90210.
Yes.
Like on Freeform.
Well, don't forget hell, they tried doing it with Cloak and Dagger. And
why? Well, you know what? I'd rather see Namor. Like the Man from Atlantis. See, I used to watch the Man from Atlantis. What's his name? Patrick Duffy. And he had the webbed hands and stuff, and he'd be like swimming. And I don't know. I was hungry for superheroes.
Yeah,
so I watch a fish hero. Or you know what? What is it? NFL superpower guy.
Which one?
The NFL power dude or whatever.
Oh yeah, Super Pro or something.
Super Pros or dude. They're all juiced up.
Hey, they used to have the Pro Stars cartoon with Gretzky, Jordan.
That's
right. Bo Jackson.
That's right, dude.
That was awesome.
I missed those. I think I missed the pops. Did you see those Gretzky pops? Dude, yeah. It was a Edmonton Oiler, the Ranger, the Blue.
Yep.
I think it was a 4. It had the Ranger, Edmonton Oiler, the King, and the Blues because he was on 14.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was a 4-pack. They had him as single, but man, I think I missed that one. Richard says Jimmy Olsen. That's a DC. So keep trying. Why would Jimmy Olsen?
Hey, why don't they do an Eddie? Oh, never mind.
Oh, the Cletus Cassidy show, and then he kills people. Never mind. It's like every serial killer mastermind.
I think they already did the faces of
Dexter. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so we'll keep that. We'll keep that as an open question.
Right now, Great Lakes Avengers are on.
Yes. We need to push those Great Lake Avengers and those comics. We need more Canadian comics out there. You know who would get
Alpha Flight would have been a better.
Yeah. Well, but then you get more on the fringe and you get this like weirdo group. I think, with his Canadian connection, Deadpool, Mr. Ryan Reynolds needs to pull some shit like that and put one of those Canadian groups into his movie, dude.
I think I would rather see a show of Jonah Jameson and a robot, the Spider Slayer.
Yes, Jonah the Spider Slayer. It'll be like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And we get Sarah Michelle Gellar just for the hell of it.
Just for the kicks. Just for the kicks. All right. We will keep that question open if anybody has any suggestions. Gambit World of Tour of Poker. I like that. He's playing poker in Vegas and there was something rumbling at my chamber door. Actually, I was gonna these comics, we just actually talked about these particular books, but I just wanted to pay a little visit to them because it seems that you don't have to have a book like DarkHawk that has been around forever to actually start going up in the charts. Within this past week, 2 books that we've just talked about have already reached that threshold between the $35 and $50 mark. Crossover number 1, if you found the secret variant, and that's this cover, but the book that he's actually holding is a different it's a different book, and
it's
that
the
was
cover I have, right?
Yeah, it was the cover. It was actually cover C. So if you found that cover, that was a secret variant cover. Right now, that depending on who you're buying it from, it ranges anywhere from $35 to $50. So welcome to the $50 club. A book that just came out, about a week ago, 10 days ago, or whatever the case may be. And then another book is, of course, we already knew this was going to happen, was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. That book is just by itself, the raw version. Now, I have not been able to find any information as far as what's happening with those bleached pages, how's that affecting the price of that particular book. But just to know, and you got at least one of those books, you actually have 2 of those books. Mm-hmm. And they're now going for about $49, $50 raw on various online places that people like to buy stuff.
You want me to fold the cover back? So
no, you don't have to do any of that.
Rip it? We're gonna rip this one?
No, we're not ripping anything. Not today. But I just wanted to let people know that those are 2 books. So what I mean, do you have anything to comment on that? Or
yes. And okay, right there, what he did is the way variants should happen. It was a secret. Nobody knew about it. Nobody was looking for it or expecting it. Somebody looked and goes, "Oh, hey, crap, this is different." And to me, that is the treasure hunt, because anybody can just buy variants now. It's not a oh, I found this in the wild. They're incentive books. They're, oh, you know what, you want this variant, but no, a variant should be, like Hot Wheels, where you got 10 cases, maybe one of them is the super, the special car. And then you go through 10 and you're like, oh crap, no, it wasn't guaranteed. So to find one of these variants, and I don't know, did you find one of the variants, or did Rico?
The funny thing is that I was in a hurry. So I walked into Comics Plus and I said, I need this book. And I was like, I'm going to get this one, crossover number 1. And then I wanted to get Wolverine for Elvis. Actually, I was getting these for him to put away for later. And then I saw the Wolverine. I was like, you know what?
Over number 1.
That yeah, we're gonna have to figure that one out. Anyway, so I said, you know what? And there's Wolverine, but you know what? I know that cover. I'm gonna get the other cover. I didn't look at either one of them, and I just put them in a bag, put them away. And then the whole day, we guys were saying, hey, did you get one of those? Whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I got to put away. Why do I need to mess with it? Yesterday, because I bought some slips, bags and boards, and I was like, holy.
Well, you got.
Folks, I just pulled it. Did you? I pulled it out of that whole stack because I believe Richard went there later, and there weren't any in there. I just pulled it. I just did that. Did the old pick one, David Blaine style. Is this your card? And it was it.
Rico showing late,
and we didn't
showing late to the show, just like today. But again, real quick, just to finish up, that variant again was not promoted. It was a true variant. It was a true, Easter egg. True, to me, that's what a variant was. Back then, I mean, if you ever got a variant, it was because it was a variant. It just, oh man, I didn't even realize this was in there. But like I said, now you can order cover A, B, or C, and it's like, why? Why not just sell one cover and then throw those? Remember back then when they used to do pinups and stuff like that, extra art in the back or in the middle? They could do the same thing. Like I said, I ended up getting the posters. I thought those Native American variant covers were cool, but I wasn't going to go buy all those comics I don't read just for the covers. And then I end up getting a poster for free of all the Native American covers.
Right.
So
right.
I'm like, there you go. And I just thought it was kind of wrong, I guess, to do a Captain America Native American cover. Like, shouldn't that be like the Trail of Tears? I'm just, because because honestly, what I've seen is a lot of, there's nothing wrong with Native American heritage and stuff, but people, usually non-Native Americans, like trash Columbus and just Americans in general because the land was stolen.
So we've got 2 books that are in the $50 club. So congratulations to all that have found that. You've now done a lot more than what some self-proclaimed aficionados of comic hunting. It's like not being able to find a super treasure. Anywho.
So, but you know what? Hey, with these $50 clubs, you gotta keep an eye out for these guys, Eastman and Laird. They might do something. They might be popular in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. That is correct. The next item that we're going to talk about.
That was sarcasm, by the way.
That was very sarcasm.
Audio
in the Podlands.
The warriors of sarcasm.
The Voyas. We're going. Okay. I think we still have. I don't know if Richard had commented on any of that, but we will still keep looking. We're going to go ahead and talk about this. Rumors and rumors and rumors. They finally named the person back in August when the whole DC shakeup and they started firing everybody. They said that they were going to announce the next, head of everything. They did announce that. I don't even have the name offhand. And they didn't name a female. There was some congratulations were going all around the net, on the internet. And then there were some people that were kind of, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening now that they picked this person. Well, we're about to get into Future State, which is basically a whole shutdown of regular books. And we kind of already were talking about this in other previous episodes that the whole industry could possibly move in this direction. But rumors and rumors and rumors are like, they are just hardcore hitting across the internet that Jim Lee is either going to be out or he's going to step down, and that DC will no longer. I mean, we've already seen it. DC's been doing their own WB events. So they're not going to probably be participating in cons. Okay, so that's, you can kind of guess that. But the thing is that they are probably going to do away with their print version of their books and go all digital.
Except for your for the Justice League, pretty much the main TV,
pretty much
movie entities,
right? And then when the series is totally released, then they'll release them kind of trade paperback, so that way you can catch up on if you do want to have a print version. There's several factors of that are going to get hit here. You got the retailer, the comic book dealer that has been spending their money supplying these books on their shelf. Now you're just getting rid of an entire line. And so, you know what I'm saying? What do you end up, you know, if you're a guy that was a DC store and DC was a big thing in your shop, if you go to Comics Plus right now, they have a section devoted to DC, like right in the front of the store. You walk in and DC's in your face. DC's a big brand in their store. Then they go to the shelves and then they got other DC comics. You know, they do the variants, they do all these kind of things. What happens to a store like that is they're all in, you know what I mean? They like what the product is, but now all of a sudden DC is like, all right, we don't need you anymore. We're gonna go digital.
Well, and you know what? And I'm gonna say, you know, don't forget you're talking to someone who is very for the story. A lot of these comic book stores that, I mean, okay, when I talk about the issues I'm having with the local comic book store, and I'm talking to people who are not into comics at all, they've never been in comics, but just hearing the premise of what I'm going through, do you know what the first thing they said is? Well, can't you just order from them or Amazon or somebody else direct instead of, you know, like putting all your eggs in one basket with this guy? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and again, these aren't people who are like talking crap about comics. They don't know, like, they don't understand, like, you know, a lot of our stories with comics have to do with the comic book store, but sometimes they didn't, you know. And I think I remember we talk about this, you know, some of the comics that are considered high price now are the barcoded ones, the gas station copies. And do you remember when I was, you know, when we were, anytime I'd get a comic, the comic book store guys would like shame you for having a barcode because that means you bought it from a gas station and that wasn't going to be worth anything. And again, I look back on these things and I think, okay, well, no, they were just saying that because they wanted you to buy the comics from them. Even though, and so they would, the people who were like supposedly investing in these comics are buying like 3 or 4 copies so they can read one and save the others. You know, they would tell you, oh, those barcoded ones aren't going to be worth anything because they're barcodes. You know, look at the paper, look at this. It's not the same. We're giving you the product that's going to cost more. And then you look at it now, and it's like when all those people, when I was a little kid and I wanted to buy a superhero thing, and all they had was Wonder Woman, and all the guys, you know, that was the Wonder Woman and Catwoman or something, the only toys that were left that, you know, they usually had to put on clearance. But then look at now, if you're looking for those toys, those are the ones that are going for a high price. So this whole business model of going straight, you know, yeah, everybody's like, yeah, you're doing this to the comic book store, but you know, the comic book store is more of a cultural hangout than it is where you buy your comics, because you go to comic book stores, but you also order online, you know, because you're trying to get these comics. And again, for me, I'm reading these comics. So if they end up putting them straight up digital, well, then I don't have to worry about not finding one because some guy is buying 15 copies so he can sell for $20 a week later. And, you know, they say that they love comics, but they're screwing everybody else over. I understand. Hey, you know,
then if we know the reality is that these guys aren't, they're not reading these books, who's going to be buying these books? Who's going to buy these digitals?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. They're going to save money by the people who there actually are fans out there who are reading these books. Right. So you're already cutting cost of shipping, distributing, marketing. You know, like.
So you think this is a move based on demographics that they've already been pulling in from their digital source? It has to be. They have to be looking at the analytics, saying that, Our audience is these 12 books. They buy these 12 books consistently online,
Yep.
and that's who we need to cater to, and not break our backs with the printer and 25 variants of all this shit and the wrath of all these retailers that are getting pissed off at us because we're not either meeting the demand or we're having to bend over backwards or they're eating it in shipping or one of the two. Whatever it is, they're going to save money from
You
the.
want to know the correlation to this?
What's that?
Is what Netflix is and Amazon making their original movies are doing to the theaters.
Okay.
Because look at DC. They made the Harley Quinn show specifically for HBO Max because they have the Warner Brothers imprint.
Right.
You know, the Warner Brothers DC imprint. So Harley Quinn is a very popular show, cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, I've even seen it. And they tried it with the little DC Universe streaming thing. It wasn't going to work on its own. So they combined it with HBO Max. And now I can finally watch Young Justice season 3 because Young Justice cartoon was a very, it was a lot different than your Teen Titans and stuff like that. And it was good. The storyline lasted the whole season. Same thing with season 2. And then all of a sudden it ended and nobody thought they thought it was canceled. Years later, they come up with season 3. Once Netflix started doing the originals and everybody else is following suit, they're looking at, wait a second, they're making still money off this, but they're not having to distributing, waiting for stuff. That's why they're right now wondering, should we just release Wonder Woman on HBO Max?
So okay, so let's think about this because I'm seeing a comment here. The experience of actually going into a shop, similar to buying vinyl, having it in your hand, just like if you're going into a record shop, you're going into a comic book store. Digital's okay, but it's not the same as holding the comic book. That part you can't take that away, that having that actual book in your hands. So
Right.
okay,
And
now
what
that
did they say?
we've pared it down to 12, the 12 main titles,
Mm-hmm.
and that you can get those. I'm assuming there will still be some kind of variants obviously available for these 12 because those are their marquee things. Now, we had a book that we bought from Amazon and the date was printed the date around the same time that we bought it. And then Mariela was like, you know what? I think they just printed it, shot it out, and emailed it to us because it was from like a university press of some kind. So they just push a button and it gets sent out. Is that what's going to happen with the comic book now? Somehow they're going to have a specialty person they can push the button and, or are they going to do like what we just saw in that Marvel thing? Hey, you know what? You want that copy? We'll find you a location that actually has that copy. Because I didn't push it says you push in a zip code and it'll tell you where you can actually get that book. They're going to become Amazon. Is that what's happening here?
Brain freeze. Oh, like Amazon took over Comixology. Remember?
Right.
So I know Marvel Unlimited is and Marvel's trying to slowly do it. Look at it. When you get a comic, that one in your hand, it says, "Hey,
there's
get a free digital." Yeah. Yep. It's just like movies.
Yeah, and you know what?
Movies.
They have probably been tagging to see, well, how many people do redeem those codes? How many people are getting it from a subscription? How many?
What issues are they redeeming?
Yep.
Like what titles?
Who's buying it and actually wanting to see what the inside is? Because that's what that code is. Guess what, guys? You don't have to open up the book, punch in this code. You got the book without having to open it.
They've been testing this out ever since Netflix and Amazon put the theaters on its side, because look at what happens in you should know this. What happens in awards when all of a sudden all these production companies are looking at these Netflix getting Emmys and nominations here and there. And they're not real shows. They're streaming shows. It's the same thing. They've been testing it. This is, even in the Navy, while I was in the Navy, everybody kept saying, we're going to the paperless Navy. Even though as I left and still today, they're not the paperless Navy. Sinister.
And hey, so are you like in lunch or
Yeah, I'm in lunch.
okay? I thought I thought you
Hey,
were
hi,
doing
Marty.
you,
Hi, Rowan.
she I thought she was doing cosplay for us.
I know she was. What is it? Silk?
No, Codex.
No. What is the spider? Is
Well, yeah, but
doesn't?
they're yeah, but the new spider villain here, the Venom
Oh,
Codex with the mask. Don't you
I thought
think
that
that's
was.
kind of interesting? How all of a sudden, they decided to put. I mean, I know you want to keep the identity secret with Codex, but it just so ties in with the whole thing. What's happening right now, pandemic style.
I thought that's why they called them Codex because it sounds like COVIDs.
Well, see, the thing is that every time people would use Codex, it was like they would use that name to like mask what the name of the character was as a like a placeholder for a name to be named later.
Yeah,
But they just went ahead and named him Codex,
like Eric the Red. But anyway,
or,
let's
or
move
like
on
or
because we
like or
actually
like
have.
or like using null.
Oh,
Crazy words. So well, let me ask Mariela. I mean, you grew up with digital. I mean, with regular comic books, and you've experienced some of the digital world of comic. I know it's not the same. I mean, obviously, you're at the mercy of whatever your screen is that you're looking at a comic book.
I don't think it's the same thing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yep.
Yep.
Okay. I just don't think it's the same thing. I think like the experience of holding a comic book is just completely different than the experience of reading it on, digitally. It's kind of like whenever you go to you listen to records, the experience of actually actively listening to a record is completely different than listening to something on internet radio. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, I know.
Okay, I feel I have to speak up because now I'm feeling personally attacked.
How am I? What?
No, no, not by you, by this line of questioning. You're talking to someone who makes a web comic.
No, it has nothing to do with you. It has to
No,
do
no,
with
no,
like
no, no,
these
no.
big
I'm not.
companies.
But okay, see, and I'm saying I'm not saying that you're attacking me. What I'm saying is that I think this is why I'm having that different view of it because I have a lot of there's a lot of webcomic guys that's how they get their content out, and then later on, if they get crowdfunding and all that, they'll put their collection in paper format. But that's a lot of argument that we get as webcomic guys that well, it's not a real comic because that argument right there, you're not holding in your hand, so it's not a comic until you hold in your hand. I'm not saying
No,
you're
that's
saying
not
that.
what I said. I didn't say that.
I know, no, 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 and I'm not saying you are. I'm saying this is what it's reminding me of. This is why I'm on the side of I have no problem with it going digital. Now, like Robert was saying with this story, they're not saying that that's it. You're not going to get print anymore. They're saying these ones that are going straight digital, you're going to get the collection of them as a trade paperback. And this to me that's fine because when Jess, my wife and I first started getting into Walking Dead back in 2009, that's how we were getting them. We were getting them in their little volume ones, twos, three, like the collection. So we're reading them like graphic novels, but they were actually issues 1 through 5 or whatever like that. So I guess I don't see that it's going to damage. And again, talking about the culture of walking into a store to the comic book store. Well, comic book stores aren't the same way they were 20, 30, 40 years ago. Life and I think they're also switching to digital because of what's going on. You right there wearing that mask, this is why we're going digital because they're losing money, and so why not just what, pull the band-aid completely off and say we're going to digital, and 90% digital, 10% will actually print, and we'll print as needed rather than again getting all these guys where they're selling 100,000 copies, but 100 people are the ones who bought them because they all bought all the variants and stuff like that.
Lee Stockwell made a comment. He says digital is convenient, to me, but it feels like you don't own it. Similar to the lawsuit for Amazon when you buy a movie, but that's third party. If the third party cancels their rights to Amazon, you lose that. So that may, well, it depends, because I guess unless they're storing it in the cloud for you. But I think in some of these comics, do you actually get a PDF that you can save? Is that what happens? Okay, so it's a little bit different, but I guess it's similar in the respects that, you know what I mean? It's always wrapped up in something digitally, unless, something major happens, somebody comes and takes it, a fire or something like that, then you lose your actual physical copy. Like say like you lose a whole hard drive, you know what I mean? You have a flash drive or something of that nature, and then the next thing you know, it gets totally erased or destroyed. You lost all those books.
I can feel that way, because I know what you're talking about, because looking back at my comic archive of my webcomic, I think I'm missing like almost 80% of one of my storylines, because I have most of my comics on Metal Jaw Comics on Facebook, and there's like a whole big part of the storyline that's missing. I'm like, wait a second, I uploaded all the comics that I have in my archive, but now I have to go search through all these different drives to make sure that I have all those. So I do see that. But again, we said this about records, CDs, MP3s. What's going to happen in about 10 or 20 years, they're going to start printing comic books again, just like they're doing vinyl. It's cyclical.
I think what's going to happen is that they've been pushing more and more. You got the $3.99, the $4.99. Now they're saying you want to do the $10.99, the $14.99, the $19.99. And, they're going to find that magical number where they're going to just go, well, guess what? You either get the digital version or you're going to get the $14.99 prestige printed version with no foil. And that's how you're gonna get your comics and stuff like that. Lee Stockwell also says, how about the option of getting your comic book autographed? That was a childhood dream. My nephew has a Spider-Man autographed by Stan Lee. Not possible with digital, so hopefully not everything goes digital. You know what I'm saying? I think Lee, that is a point that I was kind of bringing up, but then the article that we were seeing was there you go. There's a Stan Lee piece that was autographed actually by Todd McFarlane and I believe Stan Lee. My brother, it was a contest and he ended up winning that from the Hollywood Reporter. He had 2 autographs there. We won't disclose where that is stored, but anyway, that you know what I mean. That now, guess what? Now, if you did pay that $29.95 or $49.99, and you were buying comics that were actually autographed by the artists or the writers, yeah, you know what I mean. Make it an incentive that you're actually buying something already with autographs on it that are print form. I think that might be pretty sweet. See, the thing is that they're providing that now. I don't know if you go explore like Midtown and you explore things from another world, the books that are coming out, if you wait a couple of months, you can actually get physical versions of those autographed by Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman, whatever artist it seems to be the hot guy at the time, the dudes that are doing the Joker, 3 Jokers and all that kind of stuff. So there is an option to get that and make it even more special. And you know what? It actually helps out because there aren't any conventions that you can actually get that book and go get them signed at the current moment. And that was the way a lot of these people, I don't even know if that's going to even exist anymore.
Well, okay. And what he's saying again is you're still be able to cut out the middleman and get hopefully these autographs direct instead of, again, what this is doing is, again, they're cutting out these greedy resellers and prospectors and flippers who are like, they'll go in and talk crap about a book but they'll buy 15 or 20 of them. And then after talking all this crap, turn around and go, oh, well, you buy this crap though, because you want it. I said it's crap, but I know that. there's no actual connection. I'm under the moniker of a comic book reseller, but I actually don't give a crap about it. So to me, this is like, again, yeah, the pushers.
No, but it is this is I know your feeling. It's almost like when we're doing independent film, it's like, oh, is it a real film?
Yeah.
Is it an art film, a student film? You know what I mean? But it's a film. There's a legitimacy to you end up in a festival and this, and you're screening alongside other people, but it's that same realm. You know what I'm saying?
The moment one other person watches it, it's a film.
That is not your relative. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Rich, you haven't chimed in on this. I mean, you seem to be a physical form type person. I mean, I'm looking all around.
Except here, you're not physical form on this show right now.
But well, he's you know what? He's the digital man.
He's a digital edition.
He's a digital. Okay.
Digital.
Do you own anything digital comic book of any kind other than the thing that I showed you, the Donny Cates thing?
Hey!
I had read some stuff and I've had some other stuff down, but I guess you could say I have not purchased anything digital, comic book wise.
Do you classify that the same as a regular comic book?
For me, I need it tangible. I want to feel it. I want to see it. I want it in my hands.
Okay, you know what? And in your own home. Okay, when I was talking about The Walking Dead, we would buy the trade paperbacks. Well, you know what? Finding a time to get to the comic book store started being, because again, he was only open up Wednesdays and Thursdays. So through Comixology, I started buying them digital. And that's how, that way, Jess could get them right away. It wasn't like, well, we need to get to the store. But not only that, but I remember someone in your home ended up reading those digital copies that I had bought to catch up on Walking Dead.
Now maybe if it was
some stuff did get canceled also. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe if I was able to download it and it was high resolution, I'd be able to print it myself. I mean, I've got a color laser printer now, so I would have been like, yeah, okay, fine.
But
if it's digital, I print my
own. They do have high. When you get these and like the PDFs, they are.
Well, I guess that's
high,
I think that's what he's
definition.
saying. He could probably print one of those out himself if he wanted to, but then we have bootleg comics.
Well, they sell them. They sell them at the Trade Center. Oh, wait a minute! Did I say that out loud?
You know what?
Version,
you did
printed.
You did hint about that. He looked at. He was like looking. He was looking on the wall, and he was like, something looks a little off.
Pixelated, looks flat, it didn't look right. And they basically printed copies of a book that was worth, I don't know, maybe $600-700 and was trying to sell it for $50, but it was a laser printed or inkjet printed comic of an original. There's something in this family,
Marvel. We do not accept crap for bootlegs, huh?
Well, the thing is, I think what's happening is that
getting up and walking around past you in the film. Oh, wait, what?
Well, let me ask you this: were these like slab books, or were these just in the Mylars?
They were in with backing boards and well, I mean, I'm not going to throw names either as to what place it was.
Yeah, you don't have to,
because they got me a good deal on a number. Is it 29 or no? Is it a 30?
Number 300 reprinted.
Which no, the Venom one, the black and white, which is the one where he's holding the guy off the edge of the building. Was that 29 or was that 30?
29 or 30. Yeah, one of the. Yeah, I know the Codex. The Codex is holding.
It's a black and white cover of just Venom's face.
The yellow Wolverine.
I know he has some strange stuff there.
He's trying to get you to say it.
Well, I mean, it's like us.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to cancel the show right this. No.
How many? Well, we'll just stick it.
No, you know what? Okay, I'll tell you this. if I can get enough people to look at the show and all that kind of stuff, then I think we could package ourselves like the way you would get the passes to movies. And I'm vocally saying this because if anybody out there is listening to this and can help us out, this would be great. Other shows that I've heard, they actually get digital PDF copies of preview issues first. So that way they can review all the books. And when they do the show like this, they can go ahead and review those books.
Yeah, because I mean,
all the money we're
spending to review these books.
But the thing is that, you know, if we can get into a thing like that, then, you know, we could, you know what I mean? We could actually get in the loop, and then we can actually do this show prior to when we do it. So that way we're not doing it at like, hey, we're in the middle of the midnight, or hey, we're in the middle of the noon. This is the most people we've ever had actually on this show.
But if you would like to sponsor Rip Comics Podcast, please contact Robert on our Facebook page.
Or you can reach out through Anchor. That's the place where anybody can make a podcast. Have you made a podcast? Anchor's the way to go. Anchor's such an easy way to do it. All you need is a phone and a recorder, and then there you go. You can have a podcast. You too.
And then for $19.95,
you get the upgrade.
Yes.
But no, it's that way. I mean, I think we're all kind of it's going to be a big change.
You still have her. You still have her muted.
Yeah.
So, but you know what?
Oh, I pushed the buttons. I'm muting. Oh, no, you're unmuted now.
Chingo.
Anyway.
But if you would also like to,
we got one muted on. We got one unmuted over here. We got one muted in video. We got.
But also, if we get more viewers, we might actually finally give away that Batmobile that we've been trying to give away.
It will be a Thanksgiving Batman. The Thanksgiving Batman giveaway.
The Batgiving Day.
Are people on the show eligible to win? No.
Dang.
No, especially you.
No, you already have like probably 20 of those anyway.
Well, not only that, but
I don't have that one.
You don't have that one.
No, he has one that I don't have. I don't have that one.
Bull crap.
I don't.
It doesn't count if you've given it to somebody in your family.
Oh no, I don't have it. I don't have it at all. I never found it either. That one I've never found.
Oh. Hey, Jonathan, thanks for coming across the show. Always let us know how you run across the podcast. It's always interesting to hear from new people that our show's a little can be unorthodox at times, and it can be fun and stuff. And we, you know, we're always kind of pivoting and stuff like that. But just to give you a heads up, all of us are we're related. I got my two brothers and my wife here, and occasionally
we adopted Carlos.
Yeah, we're adopting this other guy, but occasionally we'll have special guests, and we actually know several independent comic book writers and artists that we will be having on future shows. We have DJ Devereux from across the pond in the UK, who is actually working on a new comic book that I'm not at liberty to disclose where he's going to be shopping that around, but let's just say it's a pretty big imprint. He's actually has a short story that will be coming out in Heavy Metal. He's waiting to find out what issue that is, but once we find out all that information, just remember his name's DJ Devereux. I think the short story is called 21-1, and I'll just leave it at that. And it's a short story that will appear in Heavy Metal. And he has said that he'll come on and he's going to talk about his journey because he's been a filmmaker, a comedian, and now he's a comic book writer. So we will be talking about all kinds of things, comics. My brother is going to, from time to time, he has shed his story about his web series and comic that Metal Jaw Comic is his imprint. And, you know, he's been slowly resurrecting it. He moved to California, which put a little pause on it. But I want to say, you know, as things get kind of settled, as he's in California, we'll start going from there and getting things up and going with more stories of. We definitely want to have more of the creators and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And I'm pretty sure with that I might be able to get some of my peers who are doing webcomics also to possibly pop in for a quick 10-15 minute little interview of their love for comics, because we do web comics, but we love the printed form too, and there he is again. But so yeah, that's that's what 2021 has to the previews.
Yes, most definitely. The show will start. You'll from when we began the show about 4 months ago. See, now we got a little sneak peek action from Richard. Now we have you can't get any more Vegas Raiders than Carlos down here, who is our Smash game player and Fortniter. And our Sonic the Hedgehog, Kermit the Frog dude. He's got a book report due, so he's going to have to give up the goods. And hair cutter. Where'd you go? You went to Great Clips, or did you have a family member do that?
Yeah, I went to Great Clips. Yeah.
There you go.
I tried to I cut because remember that interview I told you about with Gerard?
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know if I'll get bonus points for cutting my hair. So
yeah, did you come out in a suit and everything?
Yeah, I'm gonna come out in a suit. I'm gonna look like a British royal family type of. No, I'm joking.
Were you able to see your whole face in the interview, or?
Mm-hmm.
Can we try that now?
No.
Howdy ho, neighbor. Hey, neighbor.
Yeah, let's see your eyeballs, man. Come on.
Tool time. Like tool time.
Yeah, we have Jonathan commenting here in the chat. Says Raiders for life, Carlos.
Yeah.
There you go. They're putting a pretty good season together. It seems like they're going to be, they're playing really good for the most part there. Obviously, it seems to be the Steelers are the team to kind of beat. But
I don't know about that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, they're pulling out. Now it's become NFL talk. It's NFL talk here at Rip Comics Podcast. But you know what? Let's see if the Steelers end up losing to. There you go. Hi. We're going to start saying hello to the ladies at the Strand Institute in Portland, Texas. But anyway, it seems like we've got the full house in the house in effect. Well, one thing that we have been doing here on Rip Comics Podcast is we have been going the ongoing and the ever-going continuation of X of Swords. This time there are 3 chapters that just came out, and we had been waiting for something like this. We've been waiting for some kind of heavy-duty action to appear in the X of Swords, and Carlos didn't read any, so he left. But anyway,
and for this time, especially because of wanting to get a little bit more in, instead of going, I believe we're going to do that. Instead of going individual issues, we're going to go over all 3, together. We'll say which comics came out this past week, but instead of going individually, taking the time for each comic, we're just gonna, because we're doing this crossover, it'll be the just the overview of the 3 issues.
Yes. So we're going to get into the first part of this week's X of Swords. Now is Marauders. It was. Do we recall what it was? Was it part
14?
Okay,
14.
Yeah, part 14. X of Swords. Roland, if you want to go ahead, we'll kind of. I mean, we'll skip the haiku for now.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
And go ahead and jump right in. We were left on a debate of what was supposedly happening in the last in that last Marauders, and right off the bat, we are sent into one heck of a little trip right off the bat.
Yeah, and it's actually surprising because honestly, there's some times where they give that little synopsis in the book, and you just think, okay, well, I'm just going to pass it. But this time they're like explaining everything that happened. I almost felt like I missed a book.
Yeah,
because they explained all this stuff that supposedly happened. I'm like, wait, did I miss a chapter?
Yeah, I thought so too there for a second.
And they showed they revisited an iconic visual of Wolverine Crusa Xified on that X.
Very iconic cover, by the way.
Yes. But no, it was just like that could have happened, or it did, but we hit the rewind. I don't know. It was weird. But again, you start the great setup. Somebody almost dies again because they tried to poison. Richard brought it up last week with the spoilers of that person who was trying to poison. Well, he didn't get poisoned, but somebody else did by virtue. And then, so here you see the other side of them going, they're seeing their differences, and they're seeing, like, they sized each other up, and they finished, seeing that they were trying to cheat to win the one of the sides. But then when they were trying to get that across to the person to, hey, let's just stop this fight altogether, they said, yeah, but you also tried to cheat. And they pointed out, Wolverine was like, yeah, well, I'd try to kill her again too. So it set up the starting of the fight. That was the last thing. All of a sudden at the end, and I'll tell you what, it was like a wrestling match. It was or like a wrestling show. At the end of the first was that Marauders? You have like next week, next issue, these two, and they hold up the cards. And I'll tell you what, they really are treating this like a tournament, almost like a newscast, because they have the odds of the crooked market. They have all these people who are putting bets. And of course, we move on to the next one where the first battle is against Betsy Braddock and what's her name? Iskna or something like that. The Unbeaten.
The Unbeaten. Yeah, with a name like that, it has to be true.
Right.
Yeah,
and they
like
even
Tyson.
said that in the book. And
Like
I have
Tyson.
to say, the great thing is, he's like, that's not just a name. And they're like, oh, well, your sword's also called Mercy. They're like, that is just a name. I mean,
yeah.
And I'll tell you what. So two events happened in this the Excalibur. And again, so we saw the first match, Betsy and I'm not going to give away what happened in there, but
it was
shattering. Yes, I honestly
Let's just say, I thought Stone Cold was coming out.
Oh yeah, I swear. So again, we see the first battle and we think this is how I honestly thought this is how it's going to play out. We're just going to see who is the stronger. But no, then all of a sudden, with Cypher, who he thinks, crap, I'm not a fighter, I'm going to have to go up against a fight. You get something totally different. And it surprised me. I thought there was some type of secret agenda, but this Saturn or whatever, every
Saturnine.
Yeah.
Saturn.
You have, it's like it's all this different way of how she's going about the battle. So it's not so much a battle of the swords, but they are the swords, and how they fight or how they get the contest is weird.
It seemed like one thing that I noticed was it was a play on the words. Midway through most of what was happening, the contests, it would be like switch, she was playing DJ and then switching the rules all of a sudden. And then they're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I mean, we're going to get into that next book because I think that last book, brother. Oh my Lord.
I'm going to tell you,
they took it to like the ultimate level, and to see the points go the other way, you got to be kidding me.
Right. And it's like, yeah, the play on words, and all of a sudden they're like, wait, what are you saying? You know, honestly, after explaining, oh, there you are. After explaining those first two issues, I honestly feel like, did I see this on Star Trek Next Generation? It really seems like this is the kind of story that, you would have like Q. I think I brought this up before. It's almost like Q doing a contest amongst the Enterprise and the humans at Fall Points. But this issue right here, Wolverine, love the cover. And this one, you had the warm up, battles, and this one to me is the turning point in this whole story, because again, you have the whole big thing about this is if you die in the tournament in this world, you're dead. So even if they bring you back in the protocols, it's not going to be the same. There's like a whole lot of great chances for retcons and all this other stuff with this. And so you have to look at who they're going to end up killing. And if they're going to bring that character back, this is their time to switch them up. But this other one, I'll tell you what, some of the foreshadowing, some of the things they brought up in the earlier issues come to play in this. And I mean, Wolverine is like in all the fights, and it's all, he's like part of every, and I don't even want to say fights, the contests, the point system. Yeah. And that, you know what? And again, even reading the other two issues, you look at that and you think you know what that means, but reading the Wolverine, a lot of things are shown. We learn a little bit more of this Salam Selective, and we see Summoner, and we see.
All right. Rich has to leave. Do you want to comment real quick on the arc real quick?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, I mean, that cover, when I saw it, I thought it was leading back to the other one when I saw that cover way in advance. And it of course, played out to be completely different. And I mean, I liked all three of these. They didn't cut back. As soon as they led up to it, boom, there you have it. We were a little bit more than halfway through the X of Swords, and then all of a sudden, bam, here you go. Here's battles in your face. Here's challenges in your face. Here's everything, going on right now, and they brought it one after another after another. I think by the time all this was said and done, there was how many 9 different confrontations? I'm not going to say battles per se, but there was about at least 8 or 9 that had transpired.
Yeah. What's the, let me get my, I'm trying to
6-2 or 6-3. I thought.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting my Wolverine out to take a look.
Yeah. Krakoa or whatever didn't end up being anywhere near the top, but of course, everything was not leaning in their favor to begin with the way.
Jericho 5, Krakoa 2.
Yeah.
And again,
is that the end? No. You got to go to the end of the book. Is it? I thought it was 6-2, or is it 5-2?
No, Wolverine. I'm in Wolverine at the very last page.
It says 5-2.
It says 5-2.
Okay, I thought it was 6-2, but I guess not.
Well, he didn't. Well, I'm not even going to give it away. But, get this.
Yeah,
right. Get this.
But it wasn't. But Krakoa wasn't part of that fight, even though Wolverine. It's. Yeah. It's very,
it's like a movie I once saw where the guy got up and goes, "I am Wolverine. I am made of adamantium, and you cannot hurt me."
Yeah. You can go mad
so the way they're going to wrap up this series, they're going to have 3 more parts come out, and then I guess you have 3 for the finale. And by the end of the month, we will have the X of Swords complete. At this particular moment, the thing is that if you look at Previews magazine, you can always go a month prior or 2 months prior, and then you're starting to see certain characters and stuff like that. So you're kind of wondering what's going on, if there's any reveals or something.
Covers.
Yeah, are you getting any hint? But so far, I haven't really been able to spot like, oh, look, there's so and so. I've actually seen complete other teams on X-Men cover books, like Iceman and different characters like that playing out on the covers of these other books. So
Makes you wonder if it was Brazilian.
Okay.
That was just a comment towards Roll what popped up on the screen. Okay. But no, I mean, we're looking at 22 issues. Are they going to throw in any in-between issues? Kind of like the handbook and a couple of other like point ones, or
I think it's called. I think it's called Destruction, but they're classifying that as the
chapter 22.
As chapter 22, yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, I'd have to look
standalone
through
issue 1 of that.
Well, that's the thing. I think I have to look. We have to all look closely at whatever that month, and to see if they announced something else that maybe we didn't think was part of it, but then, some kind of. But I think X of Swords Destruction is considered the last, chapter of the X of Swords. But when you see it, but when you hear a word like that, you kind of start wondering, what? Wait a minute, it's going to all destroy the whatever that they're in, and we're going to revert back to, or they're all going to be lost in the lost X world, like Jurassic
Park. Back to the days of future past.
I know I'm looking too far into this, but thanks to Donnie Cates, you kind of have to. It's just funny because underneath
what he tweeted, he's from Texas, so it's okay.
Underneath these Xavier files, you keep seeing XOS, and for this one, it says 016 Wolverine XOS 0 _ crossover.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. You have to wonder sometimes.
Hey, the end credits of Deadpool are canon now because they were in an MCU movie. So it's the same thing. If he puts it in one of his books in another, like in Image or whichever, it's going to become canon no matter what because it was printed.
Think about this. Okay, one thing that I can tell you from me looking at the previews, Null gets his hand at the X-Men.
Yeah,
in the second, in the February, the January or February issues of that, and so you've got the end of X of Swords. Then you don't see them, and then you know what I'm saying. What is up with that image? Did you see that one image? No, I'm talking about the one up top. No, that one right there. You see that crazy image right there? That's Sumner with the. Is that Sumner or is that Wolverine with the claws?
That's both of them
together, right? I don't know, dude. Those are some crazy images in that one thing. I think the complexity of that cover.
And then I got some freezing here. Oh, okay, you turned into the artwork that Roland did a while back. Your hands got stuck and you were in.
Yeah, I'm now seeing it.
Yeah.
Your internet is unstable. We're revealing too much. The powers that be will suppress the system. I think that's what's happening, bro.
Okay, well, I know I'm having to cut out.
All right, hey, thanks for
that. Yeah, you're distracting. You're distracting Carlos. Carlos is
sorry, wrong background.
I like that one. Well, that's X of Swords in a nutshell.
I cannot wait for.
Yeah, we got 3 parts. What are the next 3 parts that we have coming up?
Coming out on November 18th. X-Force number 14, Hellions number 6, and Cable number 6.
So we have entrusted the young Padawan learner on a quest to give us a book report of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2. But he's going to tell us his adventure first because he actually acquired 1 and 2 at the store. So Carlos, where was the first place you went to try to locate issue 1 and issue 2 of Sonic the Hedgehog Bad Guys?
Issue 1, I went to Texas Toys because I was looking for, and because I wanted to look for the Ninja Turtle. And then I remember like, oh yeah, there's a Sonic comic. So like, and I found that, so I was like, okay, I'll pick it up. And then the second issue, I went to Comics Plus. And I found that too. So
How was your experience visiting? It's almost like going into totally two different places, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Literally.
Like I noticed that like Texas Toys is like more. It feels kind of like disorganized in the back with all like the comics and like because there's like so many like comics there, so it's like
overwhelming.
You could like literally find like anything or you don't even know where to like begin if you're looking for like a certain like series or issue.
And then your experience at Comic Plus when you walked in, was it at that counter that I told you? It's like right there near the front of the store. Yeah. They make it easy. Except it's not really that difficult to find what you're looking for, and I think that's when you go into, for me, whenever I go into like a record store and stuff like that, I completely lose my mind and I forget what I was even going in to search for. And then I'm literally just wandering around trying to like, what am I looking for? I forgot something, blah, 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 and get wrapped up into it. Which cover did you end up getting for cover A, or actually number one? What cover did you end up getting?
That one.
You got this one?
No, not that one. No,
not that one.
It was, hold on. I have it right here. I put it under my desk for this show. I also have an announcement to make. Because I found something. But I
found my purpose.
I found a cover B. It's like it shows Dr. Starline, that's the I guess he's like a platypus in a way. But yeah, it's
hold it up more. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nice.
I kind of like this one more better because he looks all laid back and like his chair and all looking like what's that dude's name from Austin Powers?
Dr. Evil.
Yeah, Dr. Evil, just like chilling on his chair. And what I learned is that Bad Guys is actually like a mini series that's gonna like sort of kind of tie into like the main Sonic the Hedgehog series.
Cool.
Right now.
So it's a little offshoot type thing.
Yeah.
Getting into this book, you realize it's about the bad guys, I guess. So what did you like about this one? Or I don't know if you liked it, but go ahead and tell us about Sonic the Hedgehog Bad Guys 1.
It was really enjoyable. You get to get more in depth of like, well, obviously like the bad guys. They get more time, and Dr. Starline, which is the main guy on the cover, he wants to be like Dr. Eggman. So he's like he looks up to him, and then during like the previous like issues, he gets like Dr. Eggman gets mad at him for like releasing like the metal virus, which is a virus, and but he gets mad at him and basically kicks him off his team, and so Dr. Starline's like all mad. It's kind of like the never meet your heroes type of saying, because he looked up to him, so he's like mad and he wants to like get his revenge. And issue 1 is basically him breaking into prison to get other bad guys to join his team, kind of like Sinister Six in a way, where they go to prison and like break out all the bad guys and like form like a team together.
Well, I mean, if the source material is from Sonic Heroes, I believe my kids have played that game, so I'm just wondering. So, like, if I were to want to get this, and this is why I'm actually looking forward to hearing your reviews on this, because if there's something that I can like get the kids that they might like, and not saying just my kids. I mean, I like Sonic too, but I'm just saying something that, I mean, it's not like an adult themed Sonic, is it? And I don't mean like the pow chicka pow wow. I'm talking about like, is there cussing? Is there, stuff like that?
Not really, but like it kind of feels like if you're a much more like, if you're like an older person, you could like understand what like some characters are like feeling in a way. Because like Shadow the Hedgehog, he's like for like years, like even when I was like a teen, like Shadow's always been known as like that emo kind of guy.
Yeah.
But like in the comic, he's like you could kind of like understand like what he's feeling like in the stories. and like what's happening right now in the events of the show. I mean, not the show, of the comic. And so yeah, this is like a mini series. So basically, my theory is that this is gonna be like a build up towards like a layer story arc down like the line in the main Sonic series, and this is where like the Sonic version of like the Sinister Six comes in into play.
That's cool. I mean,
well, that's cool.
You need to.
Yeah, you get further insight on the villains, and you do an arc of this nature. You're actually putting more background into your adversaries or the antagonists of the thing. You're not just centrally focused on your hero or your protagonist. You know what I mean? You can get kind of wrapped up in that, like, hey, we're doing DuckTales and it's always the same cats over and over and over and over. But then you don't like, you only see that fleeting moment of the bad guy and he's always doing the same little goofy thing. Or like Plankton, every time we see Plankton, it's like, oh, he's making some kind of new thing to go up against SpongeBob. And you know what I mean? Or Krabs, he's trying to steal the thing. And it's always the same routine. But if you were to devote an entire thing to it, then you would get more. And there have been some episodes of SpongeBob that do that, where you get the whole Plankton episode and you see his, you know, his connection with the computer and why he doesn't like this, that, or the other and stuff like that. So this is what you're saying. This is like, could be the start of a Sonic version where the bad guys are getting kind of brought together for something that's going to be a bigger thing, I guess, later on in the series.
Yeah, and see, like, and look right here, like the last like panel, like right here, I think. See, they all breaking out of prison.
Oh, that is cool.
Go. So yeah, and
that's
then,
it,
like,
and that's in issue 1, correct?
Yeah, it's in issue 1.
I'm not sure what cover you ended up getting.
I got cover B also.
Okay, this is cover A for everybody.
Which one's cover A? Yeah, I don't think they didn't have cover A. I don't know.
Sold out. The owner had it in his possession.
I kind of like cover B a little bit more because it's like more relaxed. You get like more of like the bad guys just chilling in a way.
You like, so the B's are the relaxing ones, the chilling.
And it's not like because of your name, right?
So issue 2 is more of like they like the Sonic version of Sinister Six. I don't know why I keep on calling them the Sinister Six, but even though there's like 5 of them, but they decide to go into one of
the
Dr.
Sexy 5.
Yeah, I guess. But they go into one of Dr. Eggman's base to like basically cause a racket and to cause and they make it seem like that Sonic was involved because there's a villain named Mimic, and what he could do is he can mimic appearances. So like he could be Sonic, Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, or whoever he wants to be. So they're just causing chaos in one of Eggman's base and basically like making it seem like that it was Sonic who did it. So in a way. And then they also have like their own like little plant, like their own like little hideout too, in a way of like doing villain things that, you know, what villain groups do. No.
Yeah, like, well, it says I'm sorry to interrupt. It says here the fearsome leader of the Deadly Six. So it is 6 guys.
So it was basically just like one of like those issues where like, or I guess you could say like an episode in a way where like they're gonna like make some noise. Yeah. And like trying to like develop a plan. And then, like, I guess, like more stuff's gonna happen later on in the miniseries.
So, as a Sonic fan and stuff like that, you know, is this a miniseries that you would suggest for Sonic fans to get? I mean, I know it's a 4-issue one. You've read the first 2. Are you looking forward to issue 3 and 4? And,
yeah.
You know,
I actually recommend Sonic fans to actually like read the the comics, even like the main comics, because it's I've been like, at first I was kind of off and on with it, but since Rob got me into like the miniseries, I've been kind of like speed reading it online in a way and like watching like some reviews just so I could like catch up real quickly. Yeah. And I really enjoy it, so I kind of really like recommend like Sonic fans who are like, because I know there's not really like any games coming out because like Sega's just being Sega for whatever. But if anyone's like interested, like interested in Sonic as a character and like of like the lore of it, I recommend like I really do recommend like this IDW comic. So like I know like people are like watching this. Like I know some people could be listening, but like watching it, the reason why I keep on looking down is because I'm actually like fixing like my controller in a way. So like I'm taking it.
Oh wow.
So like if you're ever like wondering why is he always looking down, because I'm doing all this stuff.
What is he plotting? What is he doing?
And if I'm looking down, it's not because I'm asleep on a bed. It's because I'm.
And it's not because you're bagging comics.
Yeah. I can't even. Anyway, I'm drawing. I don't want to get rid of it.
It's dry. Anywho, that was it was a good report. I like it. If there's something else that you see on the list, let me know. You know what, Carlos? I really think, and I know I've been pushing this book on a lot of people, but Strange Academy. I don't know if you've had it.
You would like it.
I
think you would like it.
Yeah, I think you'd really like it. Issue 5 just came out, and they're getting into some like, you know, they still have their thing, but they're now getting into some darker stuff. I mean, they're down in New Orleans, and you know, now we're actually, you know, we were. It's one of those things where you see the team kind of gelling together, how they interact with each other, and we've been kind of getting that kind of play in the last, you know, first three issues. But see, that's the proper way to set up something that is bigger, that is going to happen in issue 6. But anyway, but they were doing it the right way. I think that you built upon every issue at the right amount. You now can see that one character has a thing for another character. You see the you could see the tensions and you can see the way things are breaking down with all the, because you got a batch of characters and it's hard to deal with that. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm okay. And you're right there. You're dealing with a team, so it's understandable to have 6 issues to build up to something. But when you have just one fleeting character that's only in the book, maybe as a visual, and you know, not pushing the story along, because you're introduced. There's a lot of these kids, they're not from before. They have links to, like, you know, Loki and all this other stuff, but they're introducing these characters, these attitudes, their way of thinking and stuff like that, and their backstories to finally push the story along. But anyway, I digress.
Did you end up reading the Strange Academy? Did you have an opportunity to check that out, Rich?
Yep.
So what'd you think? I mean, you've seen the progression. Now we're getting into some heavy duty stuff. They're still having some issues amongst some of the characters within themselves. You know,
and you know, and again, just like a lot of the comics now, I mean, Marvel's always done it, but you know, you're playing off of bigotries and stereotypes that these guys have, and it's very social mirroring of what's going on, and it's their way of kind of dealing with it, diversity and stuff like that. Now, it's not a bad thing. That's not. I'm just saying that, you know, there's a certain aspects of it that you can feel very. They could have gone a lot different way in the 90s and the 80s. These interactions between these characters from different parts of the country. So, I mean, I think it's fun. The art, of course, is just phenomenal because it's Humberto Ramos.
I really like the Guanajuato, Mexico segment where he's actually giving a little piece of his story to another character, and that to me is an intimate part, even though they're kids. But that person is actually sharing that story directly to another character of a different culture that also has a secret. So they're revealing little secrets to each other that, you know, they can kind of relate. And stuff like that, and I really dug that. I also like. Oh, good.
It's not, because this is, you know, I was afraid first initial reaction before I even read it, I was afraid it was like a New Mutants, an X-Men, but it's not, because it's sorcery. This is a whole different aspect of, like you said, it's cultural. We've talked about this in other podcasts, not Rip Comics, but you have your cultural backgrounds and why some of their sorcery is the way it is. But anyway, I'm looking forward.
I like the playfulness of the characters, even in the seriousness of the moment where you have these very ominous looking villains. The characters still stay lighthearted to some extent. They believe, all these characters believe that they're stronger than they are, and are willing to stand up for themselves, which is not all of them, but most of them. They're ready for all kinds of scrapes, and then they also they challenge each other and stuff like that. Strange Academy, honestly, of all the bright moments in comic books that we've seen, everybody's downplaying this, money cash grab here and this, that, and the other. I think what we've seen here on Strange Academy has been, from start to finish, I want to say, along with Thor, those have been some really cool arcs to see during this 2020, because both of these books pretty much are not that far apart from when they were released. Thor got released early, like right at the beginning of the year, and then Strange Academy kind of popped itself in like right before pandemic, and then the arcs have been just kind of moving along. And I think for books to escape of what we've been going through and all that kind of stuff, they've been great reads. It's been great to follow these characters. You eagerly look forward to the next chapter, and there's always a nice little reveal or some kind of nugget that definitely keeps you going on to the next issue. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there could be a trade paperback coming out of the first volume. So if you haven't been able to acquire maybe some of the multi-printings that are out, issue 1 5th printing actually came out, and I believe that is the last of the multi-printings that you're going to get of issue 1. So there you got it. Issue 1, there are 5 different printings of it. You may have a chance to catch it. If not, the trade paperback is not that far behind, and you'll be able to get that first volume story arc of Strange Academy. But it has been a great read. They're at a point right now where I don't think I would want to give away too much of what they've been doing. Just try to catch in. But I do know what I wanted to show, and it was a cover that I think we kind of hinted about it last week, and it is it relates to what's going on with a lot of schools right now. It's the remote learning variant edition, and it's got the Zoom kind of thing, the Zoomer or Teams vibe.
That's cool.
And they show all the characters that we're dealing with in the series, and it is one of these kind of covers that, if you were to put this cover like a couple of months, like at the beginning before everybody was doing this kind of thing, people would be like, well, it's a bunch of squares, whatever. But I think when we look back on this, it's going to be something that reminds us of that time that we were in, or, we're currently still in. But I think it's just one of those kind of moments captured in time that you can actually reflect on a comic book and stuff like that. I don't know what the ratios are on some of these. They're just variants that are, I don't know if it was heavily ordered. I know that there's another interesting cover that it shows like one of the main characters that were actually involved in some of the craziness. It's the young man that was he's the one that was being challenged by those cats. There's his infamous
hollow.
His infamous leather jacket that was that helped them track him down and stuff like that. So as we've been, I think, is it? But I don't know if there's anything else on tap. We will be continuing X of Swords next week with 3 issues, and there may be some other stuff. There's actually we have some indigenous issues coming out. Symbiote Spider-Man King in Black #1 finally hits. Another Venom. G.I. Joe is at a milestone with 275. Immortal Hulk has another spoiler cover, and we are eagerly awaiting to find out what that is. And there's a lot of really cool hardcover books that I see that Mariela had put on her list. So there's a lot of graphic novels and hardcover books that are around the corner, and you could find out more about those on our other broadcast, which is Comic Book Wednesday. But for now, I don't see anything left. But stop the presses! Dude. Stop the presses! Stop the presses! Late breaking news. Well, it's not late breaking because we actually knew this news was coming.
Because you didn't let him say it before, but
Carlos has a big announcement. It is all you now, Carlos.
Oh well, before I start the announcement, I just want to show off my cool controller that I did. It's
nice. Cool.
So yeah, I just want to show that off. But this is sort of kind of like I guess you could say like a pickups announcement type of thing. But I got more Sonic and hold on, more Sonic. But this is where like the big part comes in. So like I saw it and like I had to pick it up because since y'all were talking about the story and all, and I was just like, I have to get it. But yeah, I got this.
Oh hell yeah! He got it.
Yeah, he's going to hold it back enough so that we don't get blinded by his little price. It's like, no, you guys can't see that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to pose the question to you. Mm-hmm. Is it better holding that or seeing it digitally? You know what, Rob? I didn't even open it.
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I honestly haven't.
Yeah. So you may have the bleached cover. You saw that, right? That there's bleach pages. There's an error in it. Mm-hmm. Some books have an error.
Now he's like,
son of a biscuit. Mm-hmm. But what we talked about earlier is that book right now is going for $50 raw, mm-hmm. which is that's the state that it's in right there in raw form.
So like my other copy, it's going
they're
for
like
people.
They're like really raw.
Well, congratulations!
You're now part of the Last Ronin Club.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Richard acquired one. Roland had two. And I'm still waiting. No, I don't know. I don't know. I need to check the bulletins. Let me see. Nope, I don't know. Wait a minute. Well, I don't know. Let's just check the reports here.
Well, I guess you can also.
I'm checking the recount. God darn it!
You can probably sell that crossover and get you one of the Last Ronins.
Oh yeah, some shenanigan trading. We've got some trading to do. Yeah, that could actually happen. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, I saw it at Texas Toys, and there was only like 2 or 3 copies left. This was last night.
You know what, gentlemen? We are all part of the club.
Woo!
Yes, sir. The reports have come in. It said, yes, you are part of the club. So there you go. We all got it at different times. This is like some kind of crazy I'm trying to think of a thing where everybody was like, ah. It's like
I threw the blue turtle shell and freaking got mine first because I was the last one who we all thought that there was no way I was gonna get it. I was gonna have to wait for the trade paperback.
The big news. You heard about issue 2, right?
Yep.
Not January? Coming out till January. It got pushed.
This is your time to do the pose. There we go.
But you know what that means, Carlos? Mm-hmm. You can do either pre-orders or you're at the mercy. No, he's gonna rip.
You want me to fold it back though?
Oh no! See, you do that, but the effects are only for you because it blurs.
Oh, I will switch it up so you could all see.
Dude, there. You know what? This is. You know what we need to do? The new segment after we do first of the minute news, we're gonna call it Mythbusters, or something.
No, they already do that on like ESPN. Come on, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to call it something, and it's gonna.
Hey, we'll do. Shut up, man. Come on, man. We'll do the Biden.
It's gonna be our effect segment, where we squish those theories down. But congratulations, Carlos. You're now worthy of the Jedi trials. I think you're ready.
I'm cool now.
Master Yoda, I think Carlos is ready.
He is too old, he is.
We will stick him with the Sonic comics. He's not ready for those other ones.
The other trials.
He must overcome his fear of women comic books. You will be scared. Yes, you
need to get Jenica.
Jenica. You know what? He could have went. They're not going to have it. You couldn't. You even if you wanted to try to find a copy, there were no Jenica copies out there, right? Did you spot Jenica?
No.
No, it was off the shelf, bro. Those books flew off. That the minute everybody started throwing stupid comma this and do, but that's the thing. It starts that rumor thing, and just like DarkHawk, you might as well go ahead, put DarkHawk and Jenica and all this stuff all in one thing. They're false manipulating the market.
Yep.
They send these surges, and then people are like scratching their head going, wait a minute, why is DarkHawk? Oh, that's right.
Wait, I thought the report in orange juice was supposed to be hot. Anyway. Mortimer!
It's what it is. It's the new party hats are being made with DarkHawk because all the kids are going to be raving for it. Their birthday party's coming up. I want the DarkHawk Panata. I don't know.
Mother, get me the DarkHawk lunchbox. But
no.
All right.
No, it won't happen. But anyway, we will see. On behalf of the crew, you know what? It was cool to see them all pop up. It was almost like a hammer got in my hand. And right when they saw it, like,
yep, on your left. And then
well, I'm trying to do the reverse.
Oh. Podcast assemble!
And then everybody popped up. And then Carlos right at the last minute, kind of like Spider-Man leaping in. I'm here, Mr. Stark. I'm here.
Oh, you're Tony? I don't feel good, Rob. No, you're good.
No, that guy died already.
Oh no, that's when. Yeah, it's like, wait, we reversed the snap. Oh, he died after the snap. Never mind.
But that's it for the Rip Comic Podcast this week. Stay tuned. This Wednesday we have a new Comic Book Wednesday where we talk about all our picks, which will be something different than what we usually do, but we're actually, everybody will pick what they're looking forward to on Comic Book Wednesday. And it definitely, the next couple of weeks, there's going to be tons and tons of stuff coming out. But until next time, I want to say, just keep reading, and we'll catch you next time.